First of all, Mr. Walden, if you don't mind, explain the service that you had in Vietnam and how you got recognition on this.
Well, I was in the 3rd Battalion, 187th Infantry Regiment in the 101st Airborne, and we had been assigned a mission to a follow-on mission. The 9th Marines had been sent in to the Ashaw Valley, the northern part of the valley, and they went in and had a very successful operation. And then phase 2 of that operation was we went in to address some of the enemy forces that were in there, and initially made the assault on the 10th of May, 1969. Thought we were going in to confront a reinforced rifle company. Well, after a number of days, it turned out it was a reinforced battalion. And so the numbers were a lot more than what we expected. But at any rate, we had a number of unsuccessful attempts at on this mountain, trying to take this mountain, take the force off the mountain. And so on the 14th of May, the company that I was in, Delta Company, was to lead. It was a multi-pronged assault with Bravo and Alpha Company to our right flank, and then we had a South Vietnamese battalion to our left flank, a Marine battalion on the other side of them, and we had Charlie Company behind us, and we started at about 8 o'clock in the morning after a very lengthy prep, artillery and air prep. And it took us, for us, very smoothly, because the ridgeline we were going up had been bombed, and to the point there was almost no vegetation left. And so we, as we were moving up, the companies to our right started taking fire, and their forward movement stopped. The same thing happened with the Vietnamese battalion to our left. They came under fire, and their progression stopped, but we kept moving. Well, we had moved out to where almost the entire company was exposed before they opened fire on us, and then they fired on us from 3 sides. We lost our lead platoon almost immediately. The company commander was wounded, and he was going to be evac, so he called me and said, "You're it." So I took command of the company. We continued up the mountain, got to the summit. Unfortunately, by the time we got there, we had almost no ammunition left, and I had lost about half the company just getting to there. Managed to collect enough hand grenades to assaulted enemy bunkers, managed to knock out 4 bunkers so that we could penetrate the perimeter. And then Charlie Company, who was behind us, was supposed to move up and take advantage of the opening we had, but then it started pouring rain. And this mountain, which had undergone 14 days of artillery and air attacks, bombings, and that kind of stuff, became about knee-deep in mud. So Charlie Company couldn't advance up the hill. We were basically out of ammunition, so I had to order that we withdraw because I didn't have any way for us to stay and fight. So, so we pulled out and had to fight our way back down the mountain. And by the time we got back, it was the end of the day. We had been up there all day. I had been wounded 3 times. I got early in the day, I got hit in the right leg with shrapnel from an enemy mortar. Then, as I was up on the summit taking care of some bunkers, I was in front of one bunker and an enemy bunker on the other side. One of the North Vietnamese soldier threw a hand grenade that bounced up on my back and exploded. Fortunately, I had on a flak jacket, but it messed me up pretty good. And then as we were moving back down the mountain, my radio operator got shot. So I went to aid him, and as I was aiding him, I got shot in the left arm. So him and I managed to get to cover, and then I stayed out there for the rest of the night. I got evacuated the next morning. But through all of that, I ended up with a Distinguished Service Cross and a Purple Heart. So I was alive, so I felt well.